Welcome to the Angelscapes podcast, where you're encouraged to uncover and develop a direct connection with your soul's power, wisdom, and spiritual intuition that is ready to blossom. We'll explore new ideas, compelling tips, and real steps to help you learn simple spiritual practices. We're a safe place to learn more about accessing your soul's power with education and spiritual wholeness that could bring more clarity to your life. Now here's your host, a practicing medium, Akashic Records practitioner, spirit artist, coach, and mentor, Dr. Reverend Nancy Smith.
When is the last time you experienced an angel? And did you know that the angels are all around you all the time? Hello, this is Angelscapes, and I am your host, Nancy Smith. I was just given the 2022 Ommie Award winner for Best Angel Card Reader. I'm really excited. And I want to talk to you about angels today. My favorite thing to talk about, my company is called Angelscapes for a reason. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. So I want you to join me in this session for a talk about angels. We're going to talk about angels' origins as best as I can, and how they help humanity, and how they are in your life now, every single day, every single moment, and how you can connect with them. We're going to talk about meditation and oracle cards as another way of connecting to your angels. The angelic realm has been in existence since before humanity showed up on the planet. I don't know what they were doing before we got here, but I know that from what I've read, they were charged with watching over humanity as if it was just this young young culture, or young brothers or sisters, or kind of growing up. That points to something about us and our own earthly importance, but we'll go into that later. I always hope for a download on that one. They have always been present with us. They did not originate from the Christian realm, although many Christian faiths have been deeply embraced them. The New Age movement has also embraced angels, and often they resonate very closely with Christian communities, New Age Christian communities. However, they also resonate with, gosh, you could see winged beings in almost any mystical aspect of religions, even in the Quechua, shamanic Quechua traditions that I learned in the Andes. The winged beings watched over the mountains. They lived in the mountains, and they came out of the mountains to give healing and support and guidance. And they were often fed, or there's the tupai, an exchange between the angels. The Kabbalah, the tree of life in the Judaic tradition, has a whole hierarchy of angels. I won't go into that too deeply, but I do have some points that I want to make about what comes from the Judaic communities. And I think that there's probably even more stories around angels and winged beings than I even know right now. So they're very important. I know that in some petroglyphs, or in some ancient carvings, you can also see often winged beings that are bigger than man, or benevolent, or have a beneficent presence and a teaching presence. So can't go wrong with angels, I'm telling you. So the presence of angels have been with us since the dawn of recorded history, including those petroglyphs and those drawings. And so I feel like that history points out the fact that the angels have always been with us, maybe on a mythological way, but I also feel like they have been with us in a more of a instructional way, or inspirational way. Angels appear to us real time now. Angels appear to us in forms that we can recognize and receive. They must penetrate our cultural bias and beliefs to convey their messages. So we may see an angel that we recognize, or we may, and there's a little talk on earth angels. An angel might step in and guide us to present something or help somebody with somebody. We become an earth angel ourselves. Or sometimes people can just show up and give us things, or impart things to us that we really needed, but had never expressed that we needed. And that's angel work. dogs, animals do a lot of the angels' biddings. Animals, I think there's a couple of really cute stories. All dogs go to heaven, and different t- talks about how your pets can really be as if they're angelic guidances. Um, I have some notes I'm following from my book, Divine Love Affair and Akashic Journey. So I did some research, so I want to stick to some of those notes. I know I just can't spew it out off the top of my head. Angels are in full service to God. They vibrate at a very fast rate and exist and live close to the heart of God. They are of God. They are not of humanity. Like humans, angels have many different jobs, skills, and qualities to serve their own particular missions. And some stay close to God. Let's talk about God as source. Some stay close to the source because they have work to do within the source. And some are here on the earth plane, really working it out with us. As angels help us, they serve the divine. So it's not that an angel is doing our bidding because we said so. Our angels are helping us to grow in our soul's growth, in our spiritual growth, and that's in service to source, to the divine. Every human being is equally valued by God. We've talked about this a few times. And I want to reiterate that the creator doesn't see race, religion, social status, or quality, those kinds of qualities in our lives. The divine sees us. It sees the divinity within us. And the divine sees us as developing souls. And so do the angels. So do the angels want to step in as we're developing. We don't have to be perfect and wonderful in order to have angelic help or divine help. God is in source, is looking forward to us, our development and our stepping forward and our overcoming our issues, our anger, our depression, our sadness, our laziness. And so we're not judged by those actions as much as the angels can come in and inspire us to move outside of our negative frustrations or our frustrations. God longs for us to be fully actualized in our spirits so that we may live at the side and in the heart of the creator as we're living our lives now, but also after the change called death, that we stand next to source, stand next to God. And the angels are here helping us to get to that point. It's not that we're bossing the angels around and telling them what we want and what to do and where to go and how to be. The angels are actually showing up at our points of need and helping us, sometimes helping us to know where we need to go. As you make a request to an angel, we'll talk about that in just a second. They don't run around doing our errands or bidding for us, but they're here to help us make it easier for ourselves to create and do what we need to do. I have to say that this is something I've been thinking about for a long time about angels. Each archangel and angel belong to a ray or a throne that has a specific calling and a discipline. And each throne or ray has its own vibratory sound, color, and discipline within it. Inside of each of these rays is specific jobs and skills that relate to the reigning throne or ray. Archangel Michael comes in through, I see him in the color of blue. Sometimes I see him in the color of yellow. Archangel Michael talks to us about protection. So it's protection from things outside of ourselves, but it's all, which is that blue, but it's also protection from things within ourselves and how we think about ourselves and how we treat ourselves. So that comes in the yellow, the solar plexus yellow. You need never to worry about if you're calling an angel frivolity. Angels cannot intervene unless we are asked and invited. So if you want to ask for help, very specifically say, please help me, I could use some help. And then I ask the angels and God for the help. And if you're praying to source can have the angels come and intervene. Here's my messenger. This angel is coming on to help you out. Each request is considered and responded to lovingly and intelligently with our best interest in mind in service to source. They deliver what we need better than we could ever ask for. And sometimes you've heard the saying, well, don't, you've heard the saying, my prayers weren't answered, and that's the answer. And I feel like it's not that cut and dry. Sometimes we'll have a request and we'll send it out to the angels. Please help me in this time of need. And what what comes forward may not be what we think it should be. So we need to just step into a meditative state, or a breathing state, or a relaxed state that is filled with um, observations and intuition, and receptivity is the key here, to allow the movement forward of the angels and whatever still source is delivering to us. Um, In the Kabbalah, it's said that the archangel's energy, along with other angels, is so deep and so large and so expansive that we could hardly bear it if they stood next to us. And I want to kind of go back to angels appear to us in energy in forms that we can understand, that we can relate to. But if they appear to us in their full glory, I would imagine it would be phenomenal. But that's not their deal. That's not how they've operated in my life. That's not how I've seen them operate in other lives. It's relatable. It's not there to overwhelm us or take us into a place of, I can't handle this. So, they work within, like I said, within our culture. They're not supporting prejudices or things with their cultures. They're not working, but they understand that we've been socialized in certain ways, and they're very intelligent. Um, no matter what, they will always find a way to answer our call, guide us, sustain us. Each archangel um, um, has a certain job. Michael is the protector. Raphael is an amazing healer, partnered up with Mother Mary. Each angel has a partner. I don't have all the names and stuff for you, but in research, you could find that each angel has its significant vibrational essence of another angel with them. We talked about this. I want to go back to, you might be angel bound. Typically, angels have not had human lives. And sometimes, like I said, angels can work through us as messengers, and then they can work through our pets, our animals. Even in nature, they work through the beings in nature. And I also feel that, stepping back here, the fairies and the elementals on the earth are also vibrations towards the angels. So they may have their own personalities and their own tasks that they do, the elementals here on the planet, but they do have relationships with the angels, and the angels do have relationship with them. Archangel Ariel, I call her Archangel. It's how I feel about her, is my go-to between the earthly realm and the heavenly realm. If I need grounding, if I need understanding of what's happening on the planet Earth, I go to Archangel Ariel to help me walk through my life and understand the resources, the earthly resources around me, as well as my relationship to the earth and to this planet. So, one exception, all angels started from the heavenly realm, except for Metatron. Metatron, born before the time of Noah. There's a book called the Books of Enoch, and Metatron, as he was alive many lifetimes as a human here on Earth, wrote the Books of Enoch. Enoch had a calling to hear the Word of God and understand the mysteries of creation, and Enoch wrote a number of stories. I'm trying to, as I look here, Enoch is also thought to be the name of four other persons: the oldest son of Cain, the son of Jared, the son of Midian, and also the oldest son of Reuben. These men were born in different generations, and Enoch is said to have become fully realized within himself. And he's also said that he ascended into heaven instead of dying a mortal death. And then as he went into heaven, he became Metatron, the archangel of the presence of God. And Metatron is he's the head of the Akashic records. When I worked, how I connected into my angels was through the Akashic records. And that could be a whole nother talk or another session. But Metatron is the presence of God, and the word of God, where Metatron can bring us humans the word of God in a way that we would understand, because he was human and he did have that human experience. Metatron, like I said, watches over the Akashic records. He's the secretary, he's the watcher, and one of Metatron's greatest gifts is his understanding of the human nature. So again, that's why he's the word of God to our ears. He realizes how difficult it is to be human and undergo the challenges of the living world. Another realm that Metatron watches over is educating children and children themselves. And Metatron is a good angel to call in if you're having trouble, if you have children who have trouble learning and are learning disabilities, or you're wondering where should this child develop, where should this child go, what support does this child need, Metatron would be a wonderful resource for you. If your child has special gifts that aren't really recognized, say they're special spiritual gifts, Metatron would be the angel to work with. Metatron is also the angel of truth. Metatron's not going to mess around and kind of go around the mulberry bush. You're going to get the straight stuff. And Metatron also calls us to be clear in our thinking and our thoughts. And we create from our thoughts. And if we're going to create clearly from our thoughts, we need to be fastidious in how we appoint our thoughts and send them out to the world. Now, having said that, we do mull things over and think it through and kind of understand, is this that, or should I move this over here? And I'm feeling this way about that. I'm not saying you have to be perfect in how you live, but when you finally have that thought that is going to be your expression and your belief, and this is the bottom line, is what I'm thinking here, Metatron asks us to be very clear and full of compassion and precise in what we do. There's words that could be very blaming or shaming, or words that could be negative. Metatron asks us, can you take another look at what it is you're truly trying to express here? What is it that you're truly thinking? Because where you are in your mind is where you are in your life. Again, I work in the Akashic field. When I connect with the angels, I open up my Akashic records, and then I will work with the angels. And I don't always do it that way. I'll be very honest. Sometimes I just simply connect with the angels, and I'll say I'd like to explore and expand my auric field to have the angels step in and walk me through, especially if I'm, of course, it's always when you have a challenge that you think of calling in the angels, but I'd like to invite you to think of calling in the angels in any kind of learning and growing, and even in your daily morning waking up, calling in the angels. And I'm going to talk to you about my team of angels that I work with and why I work with this team. When I start to connect to life and waking up and what I want to do today and what's the best thing for me to do, I need to, and I choose to connect with Source to walk in the shoes, not just of my daily list, but also in my daily inspiration. And the team that I call in is Metatron above me, Ariel below me. And then Archangel Michael can go on either side or the front, depending on what's coming my way. So Michael, and then Archangel Raphael and Mother Mary is a team. And then when I do my healing work there, I make sure that I blend it in and I'm close with them. Archangel Gabriel comes in with light, especially when I'm working on soul contract works, or I'm working on healing, or I'm working on intuitive works and readings. It's Gabriel that will light up the situation so I can see it clearly. I can maybe have a clairvoyant vision, or I hear something and I can't quite get it. It's Gabriel. Please help me. I'm not sure what it is that I'm seeing clearly. I don't want to interpret this. Please clear this up. And when I'm working, Archangel Uriel, Uriel, sometimes say it's Uriel, or Uriel, is the angel of manifestation, ministration, and transformation. Uriel is the angel of the West. I'll go back and talk about directions with the other ones. The West is the setting sun, the transformation. It's the fall. It's when things fall away and transform and get ready for the new life pattern. So Uriel is my go-to with transformation. And if I'm working with somebody who needs to really endure and go through a change, no matter what it is. It's Uriel that I call on and say, what would be the best advice? Uriel comes in with energetic healing, as along with Archangel Raphael, but the energy that Uriel comes in is the transformational energy that helps you move through to where you need to go. So going back to the directions, Archangel Michael to me is the angel of the north, the angel of the truth, the angel of introspection. And I see the north being in the northern hemisphere. I see the north as being cold, iced over, seeing your reflections in the ice, and then the many phases of water, emotions, the expression of selves, the many different ways we express ourselves. And then I see in the east is Gabriel, who's the light bringer, Archangel Gabriel, who's the messenger from God. And now in the mythologies announced to Mother Mary that she is about to become pregnant with Son of God, Jesus. Beautiful, beautiful story. And then Gabriel also opened up the tomb. So a lot of Gabriel probably shows up more in biblical terms than any other angel. But again, Gabriel is, I need to understand this. I'd like to see this. Can you help me? Especially if I'm being in my own world a little foggy. So Archangel Gabriel East, and then I go into Raphael, which puts Gabriel to me in a beautiful coral and yellow robe. Again, these colors are my colors. You can, as you express the angels, as you connect to the angels, you may see them in different colors. Raphael to me comes in, Archangel Raphael comes to me in this beautiful green, many greens, heart chakra, and the south, which is the place of growth, of nurture, abundance, nurturing, nourishment. And sometimes before we have abundance, we don't have abundance. So we can shift from the poverty mentality into the abundant mentality. With Mother Mary, Mother of God, who is the Queen of Angels. And this is the second, I believe, from what I have read, the angel that incarnates as human, where as she ascended into heaven as well, she was a very advanced, that's what I've read, and what I feel it's so true, embraces the femininity of the healing aspect and the goddess. So Mother Mary with healing, and when I'm doing healing work, really pairs up nice with Archangel Raphael. And she comes in sometimes with white, sometimes with a beautiful powder blue, with stars around her feet or around her head. And I work with Archangel Raphael and Mother Mary to work on soul template work. And we are born, we have a template above our heads, a beautiful energetic template that we are created from. And that energetic template is created before we are created physically. And sometimes through birth and through life, tragedies or trauma, or, just getting worn out. I will work with Archangel Raphael and Mother Mary to bring in the template, heal ourselves by remembering who we are and what we're meant to be. And that they have done some magnificent work right in front of me. I'm not doing the work, they're doing the work. And then Uriel comes in, like I said, in there, yeah. I said west already, so north, east, southwest. And then we have the up, which is Metatron, and below I talked about in the earth realm, Archangel Ariel, but I also want to talk about Sandalphon, which is the twin of Metatron, where everything needs to have a balance. It's opposite or equal self. Sandalphon is our words to God, where Metatron is God's words to us. Sandalphon is our words to God. So when we pray, you could even invite in Sandalphon. Can you hear me? Can you help me make my language clear so that God understands me? And I'm saying this, God always, source, our angels, our guardian angels, they always understand us. But what we sometimes don't understand ourselves, or maybe we don't understand what we're asking for. So I like to have the angels and my archangels in my soul work with me to be clear on what it is I'm asking for. And sometimes the only thing I can do is say, here's the pain point. Here's where it's not working. I would like some help engineering this into a better place. Can you help me? So sometimes my prayers and requests I take them through a couple of layers, which is to say, here's where it's not working. Here's the pain point. Here's my emotions around that. And can you help me create a request from the heavens? And which angel would I request? And sometimes I just put it into my guardian angels or to source's hands or to my soul's hands, and say, hey team, something's up here, need some help with this. Angel readings that I do from the Akashic records. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that right now. Could I jump into that? I work with angel cards that were created by Kimberly Maroney, and it's 2 O's, Marooney. And if you're interested in doing angel work, please do some research on Kimberly Maroney. She's the grandmother of the angel oracle cards, and this woman has researched angels more than anyone that I've ever heard or ever seen. And she has helped put music to some of their teachings, and each angel has a specific teaching. Shamuel has a beautiful teaching of how to live your life in standing in the love of God. Beautiful, beautiful angel, and she writes gorgeous stuff about him. Her angels are neutral. They're not him or her, but sometimes they vibrate in a feminine or masculine way, and that's okay. But angels are neutral. So I use her cards, actually, and she taught all of the angel people who worked with angels, written cards or done oracle works. They've been inspired by Kimberly, and she is the foundation of the modern day angel studies. And I think that she also is very aware of the Kabbalah and maybe pulled some information from the ancient Kabbalah. Angel guidance readings are simple as opening your intention for the angels to come towards you. I also open up the Akashic records when I'm working to read somebody's. If I give a reading, any reading I give, it's through the Akashic records, and then I call the angels in through the Akashic records, and then intending and requesting guidance from the angelic realm. Sometimes I will ask for a specific angel, but mostly I don't, because sometimes they know what they need. They know who needs to be here, and they send them. But I do have to say, I'm going to call on the angels I call on the most are Archangel Michael. I call on Archangel Raphael and Gabriel and Mother Mary. And it's not that they're favorites, it's just the ones that I'm used to calling. So I would love, love, love for you guys to, and we're going to do this a little bit later in the show, is for you guys to start looking at all the different angels and all the different thrones and rays and disciplines that they have. And you can attune yourself to the angels, each specific angel, if you want to pursue reading from the angels, or if you just want to pursue having relationships with the angels. As you attune to more and more angels, not only will you feel their connection to these angels, but you'll also be attuned to the throne or to the discipline of them. And so you're working on unconditional love. You can attune yourself to Shamuel or Handrianel, or one of the angels that are there from the throne of love. And angels will come and guide you through your readings and through your invocations of them. You simply want to raise your awareness and your ability to connect to them clearly, so that your capacity is open enough to receive the information you need to receive. In how I do the readings, and this is something that Kimberly taught me, as well as I added my own thing, is I have there's 2 decks of cards, the angel blessings and the angel guidance, these straight. So one of the decks is straight angels, and the other deck is angel actions. Angel blessings is angel actions. So and you could make your own angel cards too if you wanted to. There's a number of amazing encyclopedias of angels and studies of angels. So I start with an angel card, and I focus on 4 aspects of everyone's life. I have the outer world, and I have the mental world, and how you're thinking, what's going on up here, and what are your belief systems. And then I have your emotional world, which I feel is connected to your creativity and your intuition, and that connects you to your spiritual world. And then I have your spiritual world, which what does your guides and your soul want you to know now? So those are so anyone who's had a reading with me knows that that's where I'm going to go. So there's an angel that's going to be talking to you about each of these 4 aspects, and then they will have actionable item that they want you to think about, they want you to do. So for instance, if I have an angel, Shamuel could come in and Shamuel could talk about forgiveness. So in order to open the door to this love that you want to live in, you need to do some forgiveness. And then I will oftentimes use tarot cards underneath the angel cards to see the progression in your life. And then I always end up with one card sideways, which is what's in your basement. What are you not admitting to yourself? What are you, a gift that you have that you're ignoring, or something that's there it's in your life, and you need to integrate it. You need to understand it. And those are probably the most important cards, along with the angels, the angel actions, and what you need to integrate. And then the tarot cards, 3 of them in between, is your progression of what you're looking at, what and past, present, future, or the direction that you're going in. And those are very powerful readings. Those are my assessment readings. And so when I go into the Akashic Records to work with the angels along in the Akashic Records, really opens the door to understanding. Do I get things automatically? Oh, sure, I do. You betcha I do. And sometimes people want to say, I don't want you to do the reading like this. I want you to do the reading like this. So and then they'll try to change my system. But please understand that everything that I get as I look at the image and I'm talking to your soul through the Akashic Records is all connected kinesthetically as I lay out these cards. And these readings give us a foundation of where you are, where you're living, what you're thinking about. So what is the foundation of your life? And we can really go down to the root cause and the root cause of you living, how you're living, whether it's fully embraced or you're having troubles. And we get a lot of information of where to go with healing for you and what your angels have to say. And then from those angelic guidance cards, we can jump into, there's a past life you need to work on, or there's a soul contract, or there is a belief structure, or there are some aspects in your world that you need to forgive, or some kind of energetic healing can come in, and the angels will sit with us as we do some energy work. So that's how it kind of unfolds for me, and that's how the angels work with me. I'd kind of want to talk to you a little bit about angels and archangels that you kind of want to get to know, and who they are, and what their disciplines are. There's so many, but you haven't even thought of how you could work with them, and so many disciplines that you may not have even occurred, or something that you bring into your life, and you can have them help you. Archangel. So before I start, I want to talk to you about why the name of my company is Angelscapes. And years and years and years ago, before I even knew I'd be doing any of this work publicly, I sat into a meditation, and the intention is, what is the work that I will be doing? What is the spiritual work that I will be doing now that I was kind of opening up to all the spiritual work? It's kind of in the 80s. And believe it or not, I started this in the 80s. And what I heard was angelscapes. And I said, well, that's kind of funny. Angelscapes, kind of like landscapes. I'm a designer. And they said, yes, because you're bringing heaven onto earth, and the angels are helping you to do that, will be helping you as much as you allow them to help you create this heaven on earth, which would be angelscapes, which would be the choices that we make, and the designs that we do in our lives in partnership with the angels, which is in partnership with source, because there's no difference between them. And you are creating the scapes. So I called them angelscapes because they were divinely inspired. So that was me doing my work with the angels. And that is why I call them angelscapes, myself, and the work that I do, angelscapes. So the first angel that I want to talk to you about is Archangel Metatron. And Metatron, I told you, is the secretary and supervisor of the Akashic Records, and he's known as the presence of God. So we've talked a little bit about him, and I want to catch you up on the other ones. But Metatron, you cannot go wrong when you're looking for truth, when you're looking for understanding, when you're looking for your soul's um, progression in life. Talk to Metatron. Actually, amazing source. And when I blend in with the angels, or when I feel like I'm disconnected from, or I'm not quite connected to a certain angel, I will quietly sit in a meditation, a powerful, I call them power sittings, where I would just breathing in spirit and breathing out. And I would ask a specific angel, can you come close and can I feel you, so that I can recognize when you're working with me? And I can, maybe Archangel Metatron or maybe Archangel Gabriel. If I find that I'm having a specific problem and I'm seeing things and understanding things, I may sit with Gabriel for a little bit. Or if there's healing, that I keep getting clients that need healing, I'll sit with Raphael. And Raphael and Mary, I sit a lot with them for my own healing as well. So Archangel Michael um, is like unto God. He is the gatekeeper of heaven and a mighty protector. And everyone that I talk to who does the angels, Michael is the first one out of the gate that they talk about. He will help you build trust in your practice, your spiritual practice, or your life practice, with however you're doing your life. He protects us from our own fears and our own negative thinking. And if you put Michael and Metatron together, the truth in thinking comes out mighty clear. And work with it over a little period of time, you'll see a shifting in your thoughts. You see a shifting in your perceptions. He will help you integrate your ego into your higher self. That is a form of protection. He offers guidance, and Michael works with the crown chakra and the solar plexus. Archangel Michael is always there to protect us from outside forces as well. If I have to remove a disincarnate being, or if there is an energy that is a thought form onto itself and it's affecting you, but it's not your thought form, he's the first one I call in. And if I am traveling, doing soul retrievals, and I'm traveling in through spirit and soul and into the etheric plane, Archangel Michael is always by my side. And so the so since Michael works with the crown chakra and the solar plexus, if you're having identity problems, Michael would be the angel to call in. When I'm tuning to Michael, any angel, when you're tuning to any angel, which tuning means that you sit quietly and you intend that the angel draw closer to you, ask for a description of how you can recognize Michael in your life, as well as his angelic sense, feel. How does it feel like when Michael's near you? And what does it feel like when he's protecting and guiding you? And each time you attune to an angel, ask for a specific message just for you, and see what they say. If you, I love keeping a journal of the angels, and I recommend that you do keep a journal of the angels. Is which angel is talking to you, and as you attune to them, what is their message for you? Okay, so Archangel Gabriel is the strength of God, is also the messenger of God. He is the bringer of light to show the way and brings glad tidings. So she's the messenger from God. Gabriel brings inspiration and reconciliation. So oftentimes we think of the message to Mary, the Virgin Mary, and she says, oh, by the way, you're having God's baby. And I don't even have a husband. So there's a reconciliation in some of the things, some of the callings that we sometimes have in our lives that we don't think we can meet the challenge, or we're not quite sure if we're going to step into that calling or that inspiration. Gabrielle can be helpful for that, can be inspiring, and open the pathway for you so you can see where you're going. She works with the third eye and the heart chakra. So when you can open up and see or perceive where spirit wants you to go, you could also open up your heart to do the work that you're being called to do. And usually we're not called to do work that we weren't born for. So if we feel we're called to a certain action or take a certain pathway in our life, you may want to sit quietly with your guardian angel and and ask the angels and your soul to help you to remember your gifts and your abilities as you step into that new path, because they're there right under the surface. You wouldn't be moving in that direction if your soul hadn't prepared you for it. And so Gabriel can help you with that. And then moving into the next angel, Archangel Uriel. We talked about Uriel being the transformation, the angel of the West, or the angel of the great change. The change that's coming from the East is the rising of the sun and the starting of a new day. The great change of the West is when we're leaving the day and going into the night, going into the darkness. And he's known as the light of God. He is the minister of heaven, hearing and answering prayers. I guess us work pretty hard with Metatron and Sandalphon. He is a mighty transformer of people's lives. He will help you with readings. He helps me a lot with readings and delivery of healing messages. Uriel brings transformation and tranquility along with that transformation. So you may be going through a transformation in your life. Uriel could help you be calm and be strong with what you need to do, along with Gabriel opening the way and showing you where to go. He works with the crown chakra, the heart chakra, and the throat chakras. When attuning to Uriel, ask for descriptions of his transformational gifts and the signs and signals that he is with you, and the feeling. What does it feel like when Uriel is nearby? And what do you feel like when you need to call in Archangel Uriel, right? Ask him to clarify his angelic messages for you. Beautiful, beautiful angel. Now we talk about Archangel Raphael. The healing of God is what Raphael is known for, and he brings healing and creativity. There is a Native American kind of story, is that when the bear prowls through the woods, and she will make a parameter around the field, and then when the field is clear and there's no enemies, the deer can come out and play. So when the healing is done, or the balancing is done, the protection is done, you can then become very creative in your thought process and in your problem solving process. And Raphael, in the healing, you'll know your healing is happening when your creativity starts to flow. It can be painting, it could be the arts, it could be thinking, it could be rearranging your life. Creativity comes in many different forms. Creativity is very much alive and well in sciences and the math traditions. And Raphael will walk with you and inspire you on all of your journeys. And he helps in disclosing pain that needs to be healed. So if you kind of are getting used to limping on that sore foot, Archangel Michael may come in and clarify emotionally, mentally, or physically where the root cause of the pain is, so that it could be opened up, so that you could get the healing in. Remember, ever hear anyone talk about you need to reopen that wound, or re-break the leg so that it'll heal properly? Archangel Raphael can go deep into the healing process. Raphael can be an inspiration. He can be a muse. He's very much into the arts. He works with the sacral chakra, the heart chakra, and the third eye chakra. And when tuning to Raphael, ask for the description of his presence. What does it feel like when Raphael is near you? What are the colors that show up? For me, it's green, but what is color for you that's going to show up? And as he draws near, how do you shift? How do you feel? And the Sacred Mother, the Mary, the Queen of Angels, which I've talked about a number of times, was asked to incarnate on earth and be the mother of Jesus. We talked about that. She is beloved of God. And she also, she has been seen in apparitions around the world, bringing peace, hope, and healing to all poor and suffering. And she reminds us that we are all sons and daughters of God. Call on her in your hour of need, and she will reinforce you, and she will protect you. Her protection is about as powerful as Archangel Michael's protection. And the story with Mary and all of her apparitions, and I feel like she's been around since the beginning of time and known as the goddess, and she has shown up in many different goddess forms as well, throughout the time and history of humanity. And my favorite story is the one where she's Our Lady of Guadalupe, where there was a goddess shrine. And then when Catholics came in, they had ripped it down and they made a Sacred Mother shrine. And this peasant, his brother was dying. I call them peasants. This young man was walking through, and his brother's dying, and he really is so sad. And he goes to the shrine and asks for help to heal his brother because he doesn't want to lose his brother. And when he gets there, it's winter, and the rose bush, there's an old rose bush there, and it's blooming. And he takes it as a sign that his brother will be okay. And then all of a sudden, all these flowers come up, and they say, take these flowers to the bishop and tell him I am here. And this is what I need you to do to exchange for healing your brother. So he takes all the flowers, and he takes them to the bishop, and he brings them to the church. And he said, Mary is here. She's at the shrine, and she wants you to know that she is there, and she wants you to make a church around her. She wants to make this shrine big. And it could be, basically, this is the story. And Bishop doesn't believe him. So he goes back to Mary, the apparition, and he says, you don't believe me. And so she said, okay, take this. And she take off your coat. And he took off his cloak, and she put a painting of herself, an image of herself on the cloak, and he wrapped it up carefully, and he took that to the church, to the bishop. And he unrolled the cloak. She says, this is her picture. She really wants you to come by and see her and build this church. And they finally went to the shrine, and then this beautiful cathedral of Our Lady Guadalupe was built. And if you could ever get there, it's in Mexico. The cloak, the coat that the image was on is you could see it. I think it's framed very carefully, and you can observe it. At least that was the last time I checked. But Sacred Mother is a very powerful presence with humanity. And now, and I love working with the energy of the Sacred Mother. And what I want to say with the Sacred Mother, as we look at a Sacred Mother through Catholic eyes or through Christian eyes, more Catholic, but I want you to look at the Sacred Mother through the eyes of all of the cultures that worship the goddess. And I feel like she's as important as any of the angels. So moving along to Archangel, I know I'm giving you a list of angels because it's kind of fun. Archangel Ariel is the Lion of God. Ariel is what connects me to earth, grounds me. She assists Raphael in the curing of diseases using earth medicines. She holds the secrets of earth's magic and knows how to rule the winds. She will help you to be in the right relation of your environment and to connect with nature. Ariel works with your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your 8th chakra above your head, which is where your soul is, your soul's connection, and the 12th chakras, which are the chakras that are the healing chakras in your hands and feet. I wouldn't be surprised if Ariel also works with the Reiki tradition that is coming out of Japan. Azrael, Archangel Azrael, he's known as the angel of death. Azrael means whom God helps. Azrael on the Kabbalah, on the tree of life, is called Dot. It's a hidden sphere behind all of the spheres and the connections, and it's secret. And I always I take a laugh at that because death is scary and it represents death, and death is hidden. But I also feel like what else is hidden is our life as a spirit. So we think of it where when we're born, we forget who we are. We forget our roots in spirit, and we're just totally immersed in the human experience. And so all those cool things are just not at our fingertips anymore. And Azrael works with me, especially in mediumship and understanding the relationship between life and death and life. So you have the death process, but then you have the life process of remembering that you're spirit. And my work as a medium is to remind people that we do progress after the change called death. We still have our consciousness and our intelligence. We're still learning and growing. And Archangel Azrael helps to understand that, and she helps with those transitions. He's responsible for releasing the human soul from the physical body at the time of death. That's his job. He also assists in the healing of grief. Azrael rules the eighth and the ninth chakras above your head that contain your Akashic records. He regulates your soul's development through your lifetimes. So Azrael is a very, very important player, but is also, you could see, with kind of hidden behind the scenes. Very important to me, and I feel that Azrael shows up in crows and ravens when I need to understand there is a relationship that I need to see. There's a death that's going to take place that's going to be impactful in my life, and heads up for that one. When attuning to Azrael, again, ask for the description. Don't be afraid. Ask for, how do I know you're here? How do I know you're helping me? I feel like creating a relationship with Azrael is very important for you to understand your process in life. And we have a beginning, middle, and end in life. And having a relationship with this angel will help you bring life full circle. You can remember who you are, why you're here, and where you're going after you're leaving here. I have a whole list of angels, but I'm going to skip a couple. Archangel Zapkiel, also known as Cassiel, is called the knowledge of God, and he is on the tree of life. He helps us to overcome long-standing problems. He teaches patience and serenity. Zapkiel offers information from the Akashic records in order to help humanity understand the deep knowledge available from the Creator. There's a psychological a kind of aspect with Zapkiel. So he seems to understand the psychological nature of humanity. These long-standing problems can be emotional or psychological. And so he would be a wonderful angel to really work through depression, family trauma, and ongoing family struggles. I want to say learning disabilities, but the struggle that comes from learning disabilities. And so Zapkiel is an angel that I know I could do some more work with, and I want to actually invite you to work with this angel, not well known as Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel and Uriel, but Zapkiel. The other favorite is Zadkiel, spelled with a D, not a PH. Zadkiel is known as the benevolence of God, and he guards the power of the invocation and prayer that come deep within our hearts. Zadkiel helps us to pray. Zadkiel brings with him the violet flame of the alchemical energetic clearing, and focuses on the qualities of freedom, alchemy, transformation, forgiveness, justice. Zadkiel tells us to use the violet flame to clear out heavy energies that we have, and as they clear them out, we can transform our lives. Another heavy psychological angel that really recognizes the emotional, mental struggles. You'll be working with Zadkiel when you clear your contracts, and you're working with Zadkiel when you work with the violet flame, Saint Germain and the violet flame. He brought Saint Germain, who's actually a real person, the violet flame. It was Zadkiel that brought that. And when you attune to Zadkiel, ask for the description of his presence, but also ask for the gift of the violet flame, and bring that violet flame into your work. You could, great way to clear a house is with the violet flame, and a great way to clear a project when a project is stuck in work, or a project that you're working in your personal life. And learn to recognize him in your life, and learn to get used to using this violet flame. There's a lot of information out there about the violet flame and how to attune yourself to it. But as you attune to Zadkiel, you will attune to the violet flame. And Archangel Haniel and Shamuel are the lovers. They're known as the glory and grace of God, and Shamuel is he who seeks God. But Haniel, in all matters of love, Haniel will intervene. So truly, you got to call on Cupid. You may as well call on Haniel. He rules the planet Venus, and he is the one that she is the one that transported Enoch to heaven when Enoch became Metatron. Haniel is very powerful. Love is very, very powerful. He will teach you the power of love. So you feel like your life is loveless. You feel like things had really gone awry on so many levels, it's Haniel you want to work with to bring that love back into your life. So maybe it's not going to be romance love, but that we all need love to survive as human beings. Archangel Shamuel, CH, he means he who seeks God. He rights wrongs and soothes troubled minds. He brings justice to the world. He must be a friend of Zadkiel, I swear. But he kind of comes at it from another point of view. He teaches tolerance and understanding. Shamuel is adept at conflict resolution. Samuel just loves everybody. Her adoration for beauty and balance of the divine is infectious as she works with humanity. So if you see Shamuel working, not only will she be with conflict resolution, you could also see something beautiful come out of it, a piece of artwork or some music or something. That reminds me of that song a while back, Heal the World, song that Feed the World. And it was about working with justice and getting food to people who are starving. And I really felt that was Shamuel working with the people to bring them together to resolve a conflict, but also bring understanding and bringing comfort. Her adoration for beauty and balance is outstanding. So Shamuel is a teacher of one mind, seeing the divine connection between everything. And this is an important aspect of all the angels, is that we are all connected in one network. We are all of one mind, but we are all an expression of that one mind. So when we realize we're connected to all things, this is want to work with Shamuel might be a good angel to work with. Like, hey, I feel really isolated, or hey, what I'm working in, nobody's really getting this, and we're not on the same page. Shamuel would be an angel to call in. And then we talked a little bit about Sandalphon. Sandalphon means co-brother. He is understood to be Metatron's twin. And he hears the prayer, and he's telling me he's really good looking. What that came from, but he is a very powerful angel, and the feeling of attraction of I'm listening to you, I'm hearing you, I have the compassion. He hears the prayers of humanity and brings them to God's ear. He travels a lot. He listens to a lot. He's known as the tall angel because he can stand on the earth and reach God's ears in heaven. Sandalphon has helped many great souls to be born on the earth in order to help humanity. So if you're in a place where you really want to help a situation to become better, and you feel like all is lost, Sandalphon could be a very good angel for you to reach out, have him intervene, and move you through whatever you need to be moved through. Now, here's my favorite. One of my favorite, Archangel Ratziel. And as a matter of fact, there's a TV program called The Good Omen, and Ratziel plays a role in there. It's really funny how they see Ratziel. It means God is my pleasure, and also the secrets of God. He often is equated to Uriel. He brought a book of life. When in the myth of Adam and Eve getting thrown out of the garden, it was Ratziel that brought the book of life to Adam and Eve so they could learn how to take care of themselves now that God wasn't taking care of them. It's a myth. But it was Ratziel that brings the medicinal herbs to humanity, how to clothe themselves, how to create shelter so that they can survive and live well on the earth. Ratziel also is works with the Akashic Records. The Book of Life came from the Akashic Records, and he can download this, and she can download a ton of information from the Akashic Records to help you learn and grow. Everything we need to heal, everything that we need to do well on this planet is on this planet. And many of us have lost track of that, and a lot of more of us have our thumbs on it, and some of us have thumbs on one thing and some have thumbs on the other thing. So again, one mind, we need to work together. Ratziel can bring us together, so can Sandalphon, to bring our resources together to really know how to live on this planet and thrive, to live well on Earth. He also, again, brings all that information from the Akashic Records, and Ratziel inspires us to solve the mysteries and problems in our lives. You got some big mysteries going on. I don't know how that happened. I don't know why this here. What does this keep showing up? Ratziel is the one to go and get resources and also solutions. Retziel, again, like one of my favorites, he just kind of keeps bringing down the information. And I also feel that Ratziel is very important in our world right now as we go through a lot of changes. I don't know if you noticed, we have some earth changes going on and a lot of unusual weather patterns, um, a lot of people kind of going off the rails or not quite understanding how to live life. And so there's this mysterious, they're doing very strange things. So Ratziel we could bring in all of the angels, to be honest with you, but Ratziel can really talk to you about those changes and what we need to be aware of on this planet to go forward. Ratziel would work really well with Archangel Ariel, and all the angels work together for everyone's highest good. So I'm very excited to just spend some time talking to you about these angels and how much I really love working with them. I have to say, it's easy to forget to work with them. It's easy to forget that all of these resources and are at our fingertips. They're at just right in our tips of our tongue, asking for help. Asking for help isn't necessarily going to mean the river's going to run to us and deliver it at, like Amazon at our door. Working with the angels means that we are willing to receive the information that we need, the resources that we need, but then we have to take action. Maybe the resources is something that we have to get up, go out of the house, travel some distance and receive something that you need. So they help us help ourselves. The angels aren't necessarily going to just wrap it up and send it to us. However, they will teach us and they will give I've heard of amazing, miraculous stories where somebody would be in need of something and then talk about it, ask the angels and hire the heavens, as my friend calls it. And then the solutions show up. They know where to go for the solutions, or they know how to suddenly, I've had this resource all along, I just didn't know I could apply it here. So there's wisdom that comes in with the angels. So I'm very happy and excited to talk to you about them, especially to celebrate the fact that I won that award, 2022 Ommie Award winner for the best angel card reader. Some of you knew that they had nominated us earlier in the year, and some of you had voted for me for the angel card readers. And there was another woman who was amazing. I don't know, we should have both won. So I am really thrilled to be talking to you about the angels on this auspicious occasion. And I really encourage you to connect with your angels, even if it's just your guardian angel, and ask that the right angels be brought to you. And it's a powerhouse. It's like plugging yourself into a powerhouse of living. And as I described, you could kind of see all the different realms that each one of these angels touches on and helps you with. So as I close this session, I just want to remind you that each time I bring you a show or an episode or a session on this podcast, it's to give you another tool to use to step into your soul power living, to help you have a better life, or a life that is well lived, using, connecting with your soul and all of the teams, the angels and the spirits that are here to help, and the loved ones. So as I sign off, remember you can get hold of me, angelscapes.net. And you can, if you're curious about what I'm doing and you're not sure you want to hire me just yet, set up book a session. You just go to book a session and book a discovery session, and we can talk about what I do and how I can help you. Don't be shy. Use the resources that are around you, and also be the earth angel for somebody who needs it. If you're inspired to do or say something for another person, do it, because that's the appointment that the angels are asking you to keep, so that you could keep the goodness, the well-being, and the message of the angels in front of everybody. And so with that, I want to wish you all the best and all the love. And you are surrounded by angels, whether you listen to them, recognize them or not. You're not alone. So thank you for coming and listening. And thank you for all the Facebook Lives. coming on, so many people, and I really, really appreciate your listening to me and all the votes I got. So till next episode, be well, stay safe, and it's hot, drink a lot of fluids. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining the Angelscapes podcast. We hope you've gained new insights and inspiration for your journey to uncover and access your soul's power. For more information and a deeper dive into finding clarity in your life, go to angelscapes.com. Remember to subscribe so you can be part of the discussion. It may just change your life. See you next time.